up? If you don't know us, I'm Kirsten, I'm 11 years old.
I'm Aidan and I'm 10 years old.
And together we're the Bower Book Reviewers. The purpose of our channel is to share our love for reading and writing for children like us.
Thank you to all the people who watched our last video and subscribed to our channel.
If you've been following us, you'll know that in the past we've done a few book reviews and here we're joined by a new one. So without further ado, the theme for this week is Morpurgo. I'll be reviewing Little Manfred and I'll be reviewing Born to Run.
And so I'm reviewing my book first, so we'll have to say goodbye to Kirsten. Off you go.
Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up.
Oh my god. Actually, now Kirsten, disappear. I think my power actually worked, guys, because Kirsten's not even here. Anyways, to the review. Oh, that's actually a really good catchphrase, to the review. Well, I will be reviewing Little Manfred by Morpurgo. And yeah, we're going to be saying a few things about this book and I'll be reading you guys a taster. So, this book obviously called Little Manfred and the illustrator is by Morpurgo because it's Morpurgo book. And the illustrator was by Michael Foreman. And when I saw this, I was just thinking it must have been really hard to like edit this book and illustrate it when there's the author called Michael and then the illustrator called Michael as well. Anyways, this book was made in 2011 and it's definitely set in the olden days. I think, yeah, it was set in 1966 when England won the World Cup. This is when the book was set around. And the age rating for it, I think I'd say 9+. I think I'd say the age rating for this book. So yeah, I'm just going to give you a little summary of what it's about. Would you believe me, guys, if I told you this book was mainly based on a wooden dog? Well, you're probably going to know what's coming up. I'll probably say, oh yes, it is. And yep, that's exactly what I'm going to say. This book is based on a wooden dog, a wooden toy dog called Manfred. And that dog got broken, it got trodden on. And the mum of this story, of this girl called Charlotte, she was actually really sad and Charlotte didn't know why. She was so sad just to see a wooden toy lose its wheel because it had wheels on it. And she was really sad about that. But later on they got a dog and they called the dog Manfred. So I think this book is really good. So I'm going to read a little bit of the blurb. So Charlie, or Charlotte, and her little brother Alex are walking their dog Manfred on the beach when they notice two old men staring out to sea. A chance encounter brings them together and slowly Charlie and Alex learn of their mother's past and the friendships that can be formed in of the most difficult circumstances. In Imperial War Museum, London, is a wooden dachshund carved by a German prisoner of war who was working on a British farm after the fighting ended. This is a story of how it got here. Now, I've told you two of the characters, I think, or some more, but there's these two important men that are actually on the front cover of the book. You just look into the distance over here. There's two men, and their names, the tall one is Walter, and the short one with the hat is Marty. I think I've got them right way around, yeah. And then there's Charlotte, or Charlie, the dog Manfred, and doesn't show a picture of him yet. He must be in one of these pictures yet. Here is Alex, her little Charlotte's little brother, and there's a mum, and there's a few other characters dotted around. But these are the main characters, I think. And I'm going to read you guys a little taster of this book. And obviously, when I do tasters, I find a good bit in the book that won't spoil it too much. Yes, I told him. Manfred or Manny, we call him both. Manfred when I'm cross with him. He's a farm dog, really. He rounds up the sheep and the cows for Dad, but he chases anything. Like I said, he can't seem to stop himself. The man was shaking his head in disbelief. Marty, did you hear that? He said. This is one bar. And basically, guys, these people, Marty and Walter, are German, so they will say a few stuff like that. It was the name of the dog, the name she chose for him herself. You remember, I told you also on the farm. I must know where it is, this farm. Alex suddenly found his voice and his courage and spoke up. Of course we live on a farm, else we wouldn't have sheep and cows, would we? He sounded a bit cheeky, so I squeezed Alex's hand to shut him up. I wasn't at all sure I should say where we lived. After all, they were both strangers to us then. I thought about it. There's nothing threatening about them, and from the look on their faces, I could tell this was something they really wanted to know. They were so important to them. That's why I told them, I suppose. It's on the edge of the village, I said, behind the school and the church. About a mile away, not far. I think this is a good book, but because these two people, Marty and Walter, they're German, so there's maybe just some words in there that might confuse people, but there's no need to really know those words. It's just to prove that they're really German, I think. And overall, it's a really good book. It's interesting. It's not too long as well, and it has pictures in it. So normally you find Michael Morpurgo books that don't have very much pictures or like no pictures in it, but this one has pictures. It's child friendly, and I really like the book. So now I've done my review, I'm going to hand this over to my sister Kirsten using my magic. In 3, 2, 1, on the count of 3, we're going to command Kirsten to come. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, where have I been? Oh my gosh, guys, my magic actually worked. Anyways, I need to disappear myself because it's Kirsten's review, so I'll use my own magic on myself.
Avon? Where did she go? I must admit, I'm kind of jealous of her magic skills. Anyway, on to my review. As I said before, I'm going to be reviewing Born to Run by Michael Morpurgo. This is such a good book because Michael Morpurgo does lots of books about animals, and if you're an animal lover like me, then you're going to really enjoy these books. This one is one of my favourites because it talks about the life of a puppy who was left in a canal, and the boy in this book saved a bunch of the puppies, but he chose this dog to be his own dog. I'm going to read you a taster, but before that, I'm going to give you a little bit about the characters. Patrick is the protagonist, which if you remember from last week, I said that means main character. There's the mum and dad, best mate, which he called the dog, because the dog was his best mate. Mrs. Brightwell, his head teacher in his school, and Mr. Boots, the lollipop man, which is like those men that wave those big sticks around. Right, so now, before I do the taster actually, let me say the age rating. 7 or 8 up, I think, because this is just such an easy book to understand. Like, this was so easy for me to read. To be honest, it was a little too easy for me to read because, like I said, it's not that hard. There's not much challenging words, but I really do enjoy the story. Now I'm going to be reading you a short taste of the book, shorter than the one I read last week because that one was really long. So if I can just find where I'm at. Okay. Patrick didn't think about it anymore. He shrugged off his school bag and leaped into the canal. He knew he was a good enough swimmer, so he wasn't worried about drowning, only about getting cold and wet. He didn't want the canal water in his mouth either, so he kept it tight shut. Just a few quick strokes out into the canal and he grabbed a sack, turned, and was swimming back again. Suddenly, the bank seemed a long way away, but he got there. Climbing out was the most difficult part because his clothes were heavy and clingy, and the sack was slippery in his hands, difficult to hold on to. He felt suddenly very weak, felt the cold of the water chilling him to the bone, but with one huge effort, he heaved himself up, enough to hook one leg up on the bank, and then he was out. Standing there, dripping from everywhere, he untied the sack and opened it. There were 5 puppies inside. Leggy, gangly looking creatures, skeletal almost. All of them trembling with cold and crawling over one another, squirming to get out. Mouths open and squeaking frantically. They were like no puppies Patrick had ever seen before. Right, now I'm going to try some of Ava's magic and see if I can get her back so we can do the outro. Here we go, guys. Oops, accidentally summoned Caitlin and Zachy. Sorry, guys. Okay, let me try again, guys. This has got to work. Guys, it worked!
What worked? Wait a minute! I was just enjoying me dancing. You summoned me here.
Sorry. Anyway, guys, let's get on to
The best part of the books.
I'll go first because you had your book review first. The best part of my book is when Patrick saves the little puppies. It's just so interesting to see how he saves them, and I can really relate because you know when you've come out of a pool and your skin feels so heavy, and if you're trying to get changed off, you just come out of the pool and you can't even get your clothes on and it's so clingy.
Did he go in there with his clothes on? So that would be like, imagine you just got out of the pool 10 times worse because he has his clothes on.
Basically. Anyway, what's the best part of your book?
Well, I think the best part of my book is getting to know how, getting to discover why Manfred is like named that, and why his mum was so emotional because I told you guys when the toy broke. So that's just really fun for me. I just like discovering stuff. Anyways, so
make sure you guys still comment if you want that reading raffle because we really need to know. The poll, we'll post the poll on our Instagram just so if you guys missed it, you will put it back up there again and you can vote there as well.
We really need you guys commenting down below because we said comment down below so many things and nobody's really been commenting down below about them. So we need that to happen so we can actually get our YouTube channel more active and so we know, you know, what you guys like and what you don't.
So you guys, if you want these books, they're in the links in the description down below and you can buy them from Amazon. As usual, guys, if there's any books you'd like us to review or any videos you'd like us to do, comment them down below so we know and we know that you guys are active on our videos.
Spoiler alert! There's another spoiler alert for you guys. 2 things actually, I think. We might be doing 10 facts about us that are book reviewers in the future, not in 2 weeks' time though, because obviously we said we're reviewing younger children's books, but hopefully we can get that done in the future. And second spoiler alert, we still haven't got our Twitter account, so you can't really find that since we haven't got it.
That's not a spoiler, it's just
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, not spoiler, we haven't got our Twitter account yet, but we will we will be getting our Twitter account.
We're currently setting it up, so you guys, we'll let you know when we're ready.
So we come to the end of yet another book review.
We hope you
loved it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you can be notified every time we do a new video. Why did you say with me?
No, because I wanted to make sure you like.
So we come to the end of yet another book review.
We hope you loved it.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you can be notified every time we do a new video.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.